my channel. Today we are going to be doing a special review of Lifeismary's new Spring 2026 Demi Couture collection. And you know, Lifeismary has been somebody that I have been kind of following their journey for some time now, and I think that this is their 10th collection so far, and it's a really amazing collection. You know, some of my favorite designers definitely have to be Schiaparelli, Rick Owens, and I really feel like Lifeismary is like a designer that really puts themselves out there and has like really like a significant type of design aesthetic that you only get from that designer. Like with Schiaparelli, you know Schiaparelli when you see Schiaparelli. When you look at Thom Browne, you know who Thom Browne is. So I love the fact that Lifeismary has like a very strong identity and sense of self when it comes to themselves as a designer. And I wanted to go ahead and just give you guys some information on the collection. Now, most of the outfits that you see here are actually crafted largely from silk wallpaper. And it's, as I stated, it's a Demi Couture collection. I think they had about 14 looks, and it kind of ranged from a bunch of different silhouettes. I mean, they had dresses, also pants, skirts, tops, corseted outfits, cage jumpsuits, cage bodysuits, and then also a cage dress. So it wasn't just dresses, but it also played with a lot of different structures. It had a lot of really amazing three-dimensional elements to it as well. And also one thing that I really loved is that Lifeismary played with a lot of different shapes with this current collection. Like, it was really like avant-garde to me, but it was also very wearable, which that's what Demi Couture really is. It kind of mixes high-end haute couture and ready to wear, and I think Lifeismary does it beautifully. I first learned about Lifeismary on, I think it was the Met Gala. I think they had done an outfit for Iman, and I loved it. It was so beautiful. I think Iman was literally had to be best dressed that year, like in my book anyway. But but I think they had done some work for Iman, also did some work also for Beyonce as well, and then also like I think also Demi Moore for sure, but like has a really high clientele. So they definitely are somebody to continue to watch. I think that Lifeismary was also recently on Project Runway. If you guys do not know, I am reviewing Project Runway, so check those videos out as well. But I loved Lifeismary on Project Runway, and I'm loving that they're having more people come onto the show, especially a lot of designers. I want them to have more designers coming onto Project Runway for sure. But yes, I love the structure dimensions. A lot of the prints, there was a lot of prints, but there was also solid colors as well. It ranged from like animal prints to like flat floral prints as well. And then the main use of fabrics was velvet, silk, and satin. And there was some corsets, also a lot of boning. But really, I want to try to get into the individual looks because my God, they were so beautiful. But I feel like we all kind of know the one outfit that really just stood out, and it was this really gorgeous, like I think it was a top and a skirt. It was a top and a skirt combo, but the top really was like this nice, beautifully gold corseted top, and it had like this really beautiful like structural piece that almost kind of looks like a flower. Like the way that it bent and moved around her, it looks really beautiful. And the outside of the structured piece was velvet, and then the inside it was like silk or satin, and it just really had this really beautiful contrast, because even the velvet had like this type of texture or like this pattern to it where it didn't look like just one solid color of velvet. It looked like there was multiple colors, almost as if like it had like some type of ombre effect, but not like really ombre, because it was like kind of like a really dark ruby that kind of transitioned into a crimson into like a black at the top. So it was really beautiful, like just at the tips. And I loved it because it kind of like had a piece where your arm could go in, and I really hope somebody wears this. I don't know who I would love to wear this. I don't know, who would you guys love to see in this outfit? I don't know, I'm almost kind of like, I think Lady Gaga will look really beautiful. Like, she has definitely changed from how she used to dress, like, you know, with the meat dress. Like, her style has become really sophisticated, and I feel like she could pull something off like this really beautifully. Because I do remember she wore, I can't remember who made that dress, but Lady Gaga had this really gorgeous, I think it was Versace. It was this really beautiful corseted dress that had like really low, like it was like almost like up underneath her bottom. That's where it kind of stopped the corset, and then had like this beautiful like ball gown effect, and I thought she looked gorgeous. So I'm just thinking of her in that, and I'm like, she'll look good in this also. But I also really love the blue satin skirt that went with it. It was really a stunner piece. I'm going to talk about some of my favorites, but there was a total of 14. But I also want to talk about this really gorgeous like cage dress. Like, it looks like it is the underpiece for what would be of a dress that had like this really like maybe like a lot of tulle on top. Like, it looks like the under structure of the dress, and it's like cage is corset, and then you have like this caged effect, and it's kind of like asymmetrical because it's like short on one side and it's long on the other side, and then you have these really big chunky heels, which are gorgeous. And I love that you have just a little bit of fabric around the just around her knees, which is like this silk. I do believe that is also on that silk wallpaper that I talked to you guys about, and it's like floral. So it just has a little pop of color, but on the bustier cups you have like these really pointy parts on each side. So it's a really beautiful piece. But yes, that was one of my other favorite looks that I really enjoyed from the runway show. And I also do want to talk about this really gorgeous like tannish green outfit that kind of looks like a spider almost. Like, I could almost kind of see Zendaya in this outfit though. But like, it has like this really amazing black structural piece around it that almost kind of looks like an 8 or almost like a spider. And like the texture of the fabric, it almost looks as if like it could be like a sheer fabric with like this really beautiful like silk print on top of it. And I thought this was really amazing because it's off the shoulder. It kind of has like some pleating across the breast, and then it just kind of falls very beautifully into this really gorgeous dress. And then you have this really pretty structural piece on top, which I thought was really amazing. I'm sure it's like a lot of boning that goes into this. I don't know if there's any like metal work. I'm sure boning can be plastic or it can be metal, but I wonder if they like actual like use like metal to kind of like make this shape. But I thought this was really beautiful. I wish more designers did like behind the scenes, like did a whole entire behind the scenes of the work. I know they share some like reels or clips on, but I would just love to see like a whole documentary based off of one show. Like, and I would love to see that, especially for Schiaparelli, but also for Harris Reed, which I want to get into another one of their pieces, which it was this really gorgeous, it looks like it was a top and skirt combo. The skirt is velvet. It has like this velvet pattern on the skirt. It's like a dark blue, and they have this really beautiful like tan top, which has like buttons all the way down, and it kind of looks like it's kind of like a circular point at the top, but it kind of like goes into like this oval shape, and it's really beautiful. But then you also, when you look closer, you see like these really exaggerated hips on the side, which are really pretty. And it's not like the usual type of like hippie shape. It's not a natural shape per se, but it kind of pokes out a little bit, and it's kind of rounded, but it's really exaggerated. And it has like these sleeves that kind of like, it almost kind of looks as if they cut this top as one piece because of the way that the sleeves are. I cannot remember what the sleeve name is for this, but it's really beautiful because it almost kind of looks like the top was cut as one piece. And I thought this one was really beautiful, and I thought the pairing of colors was quite nice actually. I would not have expected, like, I almost would have thought maybe dark blue on top, but I kind of like the tan on top, even though I probably would have, I don't know, dark blue on top probably would have been better. But I don't know, I actually like the look as is. Like, I'm not actually mad at the look, but it is really beautiful. And then I want to get into a really different piece. I've got into a few different types of silhouettes for this collection so far, but I think two that were kind of really standout pieces for sure, obviously besides like that orchid shape outfit, I would have to say is this caged bodysuit, which is it's one of the outfits that doesn't have as much fabric. It really is more so a strong focus on the caging and the boning of the outfit, and there actually is like a silk or satin bodysuit underneath that covers her completely, but on top you have this red caged bodysuit that I don't think it connects, but it just is kind of placed on top, and it's really beautiful, and it's paired with these like I would say these leopard print boots that are like really high platform, and the makeup is very exaggerated, and I really love this look because it's, you wouldn't expect it, but I think it makes sense in the collection, especially because Harris Reed has a cage dress in the collection that's really, really pretty as well. So it kind of just all flows together, and there's such a strong such a strong design aesthetic that's kind of based in structure in 3 dimension and just really strong silhouette. So it's kind of like, even if you see like something like this where it's like you have this cage and bony, it kind of like is paying homage almost to all the work that goes on underneath the dress in order to give it these really beautiful silhouettes and structures, which I just think is simply amazing. And I feel like this one outfit also here that is like, you can almost tell that it's like silk wallpaper because the skirt looks like it's hard fabric. Some of the other outfits don't look hard. Like that first one that I talked to you guys about, it doesn't look like it's a fabric that's hard or stiff or anything. But this one, actually, you can tell that actually kind of looks like wallpaper a little bit, because the skirt, you can kind of see like really strong aggressive lines of folding in the skirt, and then also with the corset it looks very like stiff as well. So you can kind of almost tell with this one that it's like wallpaper for sure. And then but he kind of Harris kind of pairs it with like this red like chiffon fabric over her breast, and it's an interesting pairing because it's kind of like hard and soft. It kind of goes hand in hand, and it's like this vibrant blue, and they have this really vibrant red as well, but it's not like this really they're not like these super deep colors. And I think Harris does a good job of kind of mixing and blending colors, because it's not all the colors you think will work together, but they somehow, Harris makes it work very beautifully. But I think the last one that I will go ahead and talk about will probably be this pantsuit, which I really love because he did a lot. I think Harris did a lot of dresses. Did a lot of dresses, did a lot of cage outfits, and then also did, I think Harris sprinkled in like a couple of skirts, top sets, and then also had this one piece which was pants and then a top, which I thought Harris did a really amazing job with it, because it also kind of like the outfit that I just talked about, it has like a stiffness to the fabric as well. So I'm sure that's really, really hard to like work with and sculpt. But it's interesting. I'm like, that's why I want to see the behind the scenes. Like, Harris, if you watch this, I really hope you do a behind the scenes on this collection, because it really is phenomenal. And I absolutely love this pants. Like, I don't want to say pantsuit, but it almost is. That's what it's giving me a little bit, because I really do love the exaggerated shoulders. It's kind of like off shoulder, but it kind of like it plays with shape very beautifully. It's a really snatched waist. It kind of puckers out at the hips, and it has like these really pointy, bold shoulders, and it's like the pants are a little bit fitted, but they kind of fall out into like a bootleg cut. So I really, really love this piece, and I love this collection. I think Harris did a phenomenal job, and I cannot wait to see what their next collection is going to be, because honestly, like, I love the fact that it's kind of like Iris Van Herp. Like, she doesn't come out all the time, but when she does come out, she comes out with really strong pieces, and it's not like 80 pieces in a collection, but it's like short and concise, but it's really strong. And that's kind of the way, that's kind of like the type of designer I see myself being. Not like being somebody that has like 100 outfits every season, but like has a few really strong pieces, but they're all really gorgeous when they come out, and like they're not a miss, you know what I'm saying? But I love what Harris Reed does. I love what Schiaparelli does. I also really love what Iris Van Herp does. And also that, I cannot remember what her name, I think it's Gui Pia, but you guys know that infamous dress that Rihanna wore at the Met Gala, where she had her red bob and then she had like that yellow coat on top, and I think it took 10 or 8 years to make. It took a long time to make that coat, but it was really, really beautiful. So I also love them as a designer. I think sometimes less is more, and I really, really love this collection, like 10 out of 10. But let me know down below, you guys, what you guys thought of this collection, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Life is Mary. Bye.